everybody, how's it going? Rocky here again with another coin, Morgan dollar coin reveal, wrapped Morgan dollar, whatever you want to call it. I will answer some questions right now so that you don't have to worry about it. Yes, I get these off of eBay. Yes, I know they are not original bank wrapped rolls. However, I've bought lots and lots of these. Out of my 1,300 Morgan dollars, almost all of them have come from eBay rolls. I have bought from a lot of different guys, and I've finally found a couple that I like, who I get the best stuff from. And yeah, I figured out how to get the best quality ones usually. Here it is. Got a CC on the back and a 1879 on the front. I mean, it's pretty nice. A tip of advice, if you do buy any of these off of the internet, a lot of people say they are dimple, DMPL, or proof-like. They almost are never. Some are pretty good. I have gotten dimples, I have gotten proof-likes. However, just don't take their word for it. I'll give you a little tip. The way I do it is, I hate telling you guys this because now you're going to compete with me on auctions, but when they take a picture of it, look for the ones that look the darkest. Those are going to probably be the most reflective. And if they have pictures of them, like for example, this one, you can see my fingernail in them, but a lot of times they'll have something to reflect in, and you zoom in on it and see how good the quality is of like the little crack in the corner of the roll, or if they've got some writing on it. No problem. If they've got some writing down below, zoom in and see how reflective it is. On the really, really good ones, it's super clear. But yeah, those are a couple tips for you. And I apologize if you hear my kids in the background. But yeah, all right, let's tear into it. So I know they're not original bank wrap rolls. I know that the sellers try to present them in that way, but if you are very careful about what you're doing, if anybody says they're original bank wrap rolls, then they are a con artist and you should avoid them and do not buy from them. However, you got to pay attention. The good guys, they don't say that they're original bank wrapped rolls, but they try to give that perception that they are. And you can say it's tricking or not, but they're honest. It's a visual game, I guess you could say. They are not telling you that they're original bank wrapped rolls. They are letting you come up with that assumption on your own. So while it's a little bit of trickery, it's still not flat out lying. I mean, they put them in this, you could call it presentation even. I mean, they put them in, cardboard wrapper. They make it a little bit dirty, put a fake stamp on it. It's not really the bank stamp. They just get one made up, do it, whatever. It's the easiest way to come by a lot of Morgans, and if you find the right sellers like I have, you can get a decent price on it. This is taking forever, and this one's packed really well, so I'm just gonna dig into it. All right, here we go. I used to be a lot more delicate with these. When I did them, I was super duper careful, but kind of stopped doing that. It's kind of silly if you ask me. I do not like having them scrape against each other though. So what I tend to do is squeeze them real hard and then just stack them. And then we will go through them. Right on the front, we got this 1879. Looking pretty nice. And I actually went by, I get a lot of criticism for my grades. I went and I was watching some other guys' videos, and I realized that a lot of them have darker lighting. And when you look at these coins in darker lighting, it does not show as many of the scratches. I have extremely bright lighting right here, and that's how I like to look at them. I feel I can see things a lot better. I don't want things to be hidden, but when I take a video, everything pops off of the coin. So that is probably why a lot of people are, well, I shouldn't even say a lot of people, maybe, I don't know, I get criticism anyway. Not concerned about it, say what you like, but I know what my Morgans are for the most part, at least in 63 and 64, because I've gotten a lot of them and I've sent a lot in. So, yeah, pretty nice 1879. Got some scuffing on the cheek there, but no matter what you see in the picture, the fields look pretty nice compared to a lot that I have seen. And it's not looking too bad on the back. So right off the bat, I would probably call this one. And again, before you get on me about this, this is just preliminary first look. I'm not digging into it with a loop or nothing, but I would call that a 64. That's it is scuffed up here, but those aren't deep marks. Those are surface scuffing. So I don't know. I mean, if the cheek wasn't like that, yeah, 64 plus maybe. I probably wouldn't make 65, but I don't think it'll go knock it down to a 63 either. So I'd call it a 64. Something else I want to point out, just to be clear, is when looking for dimples and proof likes, you can see, I mean, you can read the Crayola around this one. This one is really nice. Probably a dimple surface, visible up to 6 inches away, clear visibility. However, you will not get that if only one side is like that. So here you can see much more fogged up, wouldn't even be a proof like on this end. So it's a shame, but that's just how it is. Next up, we got an 1886. Again, pretty nice coin. Not too much on the back, especially. Really nice in the fields. Normally you see a lot more scratches around the eagle. Gotta say the face ain't bad either. Obverse. Worse around here than anywhere else. Because the back's so nice, I gotta say it's probably a 64. And I know people are gonna give me grief, but I'm telling you, I get these back as 64s in this kind of quality. I've seen it more than once. Especially the face can be a little bit more scratched up when the back is that nice. So 64. 1901. Again, pretty dang nice. This one nicer than the last as far as the scratches in the fields. Dang, I gotta say, so far this is a pretty nice batch. They usually are a bit more scratched up than these. And when I say scratched up, I'm just talking about, you know, some people call it chatter. Those little marks, bag marks, chatter, whatever you want to call it. But that's a pretty nice coin right there. The face, everything. Trying to look at it a little bit closer, not through the camera. And of course, I'm not looking through a loop, so I'm not seeing anything standing out, though. I mean, that's a nice angle right there. It's a nice coin. Here's what I'll say. The chest feathers are not really standing out on this one. So that's something to look for. And this is the hair above the ear always gets flattened out too. So maybe a little bit more worn, or maybe it's not a good strike. So you're gonna laugh at me for it, but I'd say it's a 63 because of the strike. If the strike was better, easy 64, maybe even a 65 if it was a good strike. 1884. Again, pretty nice coin, but weak on the strike. The chest feathers above the ear. So because of the strike being weak, it's got a little bit more chatter on it than the last one. I'm gonna go with probably 62 on this one. And this is just preliminary guesses. I mean, literally I'm pulling them out of the wrap and taking a quick look at them. Most of the looking I'm doing is the same looking you're doing through the camera. So probably 62. Here's a pretty shiny one again. Let me see the reflectivity on it. Nah, not shiny enough. Back's a little bit better, but doesn't matter if I can't get that reflection in the front. So 1883, New Orleans. Just realized I didn't give you the mint mark on those other, the last three, I don't think. Chest feathers are better on this one, but there's more chatter on it. See how nice the lines above in the hair are above the ear. So that's a nice strike on this one, but more chatter. And probably not enough on, yeah, the back's got some chatter on it, not nice enough to save it. So this is 62 or 63, somewhere in between, honestly. Low 63, high 62, something like that. 1884, New Orleans. And again, the strike is decent, not the best. Not as nice as the last one. And with the chatter, probably not a lot of chatter on this one, but you know, some of these have a really, so I got the cartwheel on here. So the luster is good, but sometimes you get some of these and the I don't even know what to call it. It just, I don't know if maybe they struck them different with different dyes or different ways of doing it or something, but just the luster seems different from most of them. And it makes me wonder if it wasn't dipped in a solution or something, whizzed or whatever. I don't know. It just, something seems a little bit off. I mean, it does have toning on it, so that's nice on one side, but I don't know. This one might be details cleaned. I'm not sure, but if it's not details cleaned, it'd probably be unk details. Maybe a 62, around there. We'll go with 62. Another 1883. Oh, feeling like there's a lot of 83s in this. So chest feathers are okay, not great. Hair, again, not the best strike. Not too bad on the chatter. Back's a little bit marked up. This might pass for a 63. 1885. Looking pretty nice at the camera. Pretty nice. You know, some marks down here. I don't know how bad that is. It doesn't look like it's dinged in there hard. That's a pretty nice coin, I gotta say. The weaker strike, but as far as quality, not too bad. Cheeks aren't too bad either. And the back's really nice. Fields, I'm not seeing much of anything. I mean, yes, obviously there's things there, but compared to a lot of these, that's pretty minimal. So Given the quality though, or the strike quality, I mean. See the rim, looks pretty good. I don't know, dang, I don't know. The strike's kind of throwing me off. Probably a 63, I'm gonna say. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just comparing it to that first one I pulled out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 63 on this one just because the strike's not great. If the strike was better, I'd say a 64. 1887. Okay, so this one has got that weird luster to it again, but I got the cartwheel. So the cartwheel is what you want. That shows that, or supposedly, it hasn't been dipped, but there's just something about the luster on some of these. Just seems different. I've got one in grading right now that's really bad about that. So I guess we'll find out if they call it, say that it was clean or not. Maybe it's just something I'm unaware of. I'm by no means an expert, but maybe it's just something about the strike or something that makes it look so weird. But reviewing this one, weak strike over the ear, not a lot of bag marks, not too bad anyway. Weak in the feathers, in the chest feathers. However, pretty nice in the fields, not a lot of bag marks. So if the strike was better, I'd probably call it a 60. Honestly, if the strike was better, I'd call it a 64. So I'd probably gotta say this is a 63. Not too bad with the bag marks. So 87. 87, what was it? 87 Philly. Okay. 1884 again. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I've already gotten two 1884s. 1884. Oh, New Orleans. Got a ding on his chest there. The strike's what I would call average, I guess. Not horrible, but not great either. I love to see the details in the lines in the hair. This has got him a little bit, but not quite enough to keep me happy for a good one. I gotta say, a lot of these reverses are pretty darn nice as far as the amount of bag marks in the fields. But I'd probably call this a 62. The face has a lot of bag marks and the strike's not great. So, and then that ding on the chest feather. So 62, maybe even a 61 with that ding on the chest. Here's another 1883 O. Oh, it's an O. 1883 New Orleans. I mean, they're nice coins. All of these are nice coins, but just, of course, you always want the best of the best. So far, I have never gotten one better than a 64. I am waiting on a submission right now of, I think it was 20 coins that I dug up my best 20 and tried to see if I can get a 65 out of any of them, or better, hopefully, but probably not. So this one, weak strike above the ear, chest feathers are smoothed out, nice fields, again, not too bad on the bag marks on the face either, probably because of the strike, probably a 62-ish. Another 1887. Average strike over the ear. Actually, I'm gonna call that weak strike over the ear. Weak on the chest feathers. However, again, bag mark wise, reverse is quite clean. Thing is, like, wouldn't it be nice if you could get the faces of them, as the reverses just always seem better as far as bag marks go. Like on a lot of the coins that I look at. Maybe it's just because people are always messing with the faces of them. I don't know. But these weak strikes are what's getting me. As far as strikes go, I'm not too happy with the roll so far, but as far as bag marks, it's pretty nice. Probably have to say this is a 62. The back's nice enough that it might bump up to a 63. It's the strike that's getting me. Another 1885. Now the strike looks a little bit better on this one. You're seeing some definition in those chest feathers. New Orleans mint. A little bit of marks on the fields. Man, it's either it's either more bag marks and a good strike, or a bad strike and less bag marks. So this would probably be, I don't know, the face is really dinged up. Not dinged up, but marked up. Probably a 62. Just because the face is so marked up. They love their cheeks. 1884. Looking at this here. Don't know if that's a crack. Let me take a closer look at that. Okay, so try to point this out to you. This line right there is actually a crack in the die, a die crack. I've never seen one there before. Usually you see them up around the edges. Also right here, you can see that little line right there. That is actually, if you flip it around, it's the leaves of the wreath. And right here, you see that there is the back of her cap. So it's a strike through. At least that's what I call it. I've seen other people call it clashing. But yeah, I have never seen that. That's kind of got me. I wonder if that's a special variety. I'm gonna have to look that up. But the clashing tends to be clashing is pretty common, honestly. I see this, they could call it like a double V or a V. A clash up here, strike through. I see these and these a lot in these coins, but I don't usually see it where it's that prominent right here. I mean, it's very visible there, and I've never seen that before. I've never seen that die crack right there. Maybe I might get lucky on this one. I don't know. Anyway, quality-wise, because of this weak strike, I'd probably say it's a I'd probably go with a 63 on this, because the cheek's pretty nice. There's not too bad bag marks everywhere, and the back's not too bad either. Oh, talking about those die cracks. So look here, die crack, die crack, die crack, all the way through there, die crack. I mean, it's got a lot of die cracks on this one. I have to be looking at this one through the loop, but I'll do that off camera and probably later. 1886. Medium strike on the hair, on the chest feathers, and it's a Philadelphia. Not seeing anything horrible on the back. Little mark under the G of God. Little tiny pimple, whatever you want to call it right there. Not horrible. Okay, so this here, that's a scratch, a gouge in it. And I have gotten these back as as details damage. So, and one of them came back to me as a details because of a hard scratch on it. So if I were to send this one in, which I'm pretty sure 86 is a pretty common year, so it's probably not worth sending in anyway. But let's say it's got a fancy variety or something that makes it worth more. I'd have to think twice, because that could definitely come back as unk or details. It would be unk details. It's decent quality. It's probably, okay, if you don't count that scratch, it's probably an easy, honestly, if it weren't for that scratch, it'd probably be a 63, high 63, maybe even a 64. But that scratch, I'm going to say, if it doesn't come back details, it'd probably be a 62. I think that scratch would do enough damage to me on the grading. Okay, 1884. Bag marks on the face. Let's see if okay, got the cartwheel. Okay. Not too bad. I mean, it's got some bag marks in front of it, but they're pretty light. And the back, yeah, the back's pretty scratched up, so let's see the strike. Strike's about a medium, what I'd call a medium strike. Yeah, the back's so dinged. It was probably a 62. Another 83, man. I'm getting a lot of 83s and 84s. And it's my experience too with these rolls. I think I've only ever one time out of, I don't know, what's 1,300 divided by 20? That's about how many rolls I've gotten. Out of all those rolls, I've only ever once gotten a CC in the middle of the roll. So, I mean, these rolls are put together by people, so they tempt you with the, ooh, is that a cud? Sorry. That looks like a cud. That could add some value to it. Anyway, they'll put CCs on the ends, or they'll put like a 1889 on one end, which is like 1889 Philly, something not worth a lot, and then a CC, but it's like an 83 CC, which is still, any CC is worth more than the rest. But that's the way to trick you into thinking, oh my gosh, I might have an 1889 CC hidden inside this original bank wrapped roll. But they're not original bank wrapped rolls, so they're put together. They've been gone through. I have no intention of finding an 1889 CC unless somebody did a real bad job of putting one of the rolls together. The best I hope for are, dimples, proof likes, and varieties is what I'm looking for. I mean, I've gotten I think I got a 1905 out of the rolls once. I mean, I've gotten decent ones. I wouldn't keep doing it if I was losing money doing it. But yeah, that cud has got me interested. I don't know if there's a variety for that. Quality wise, medium strike. The back is pretty clean, but the chest feathers are weak. Man, every time. Because of the weak, that sucks too. This one's pretty nice coin as far as the marks go, but I'd say because of the weak strike, 60, 62, probably. Dang. Another 1885. New Orleans. Pretty decent strike. I like the tail, or the chest feathers on that, and the devices, or not the devices, the fields, pretty clean. Getting that cartwheel effect. I'm liking the back of this one. That's a really nice one. Face of it. Got a big ol', it's not a bad gash, but it's definitely taken the, that, I don't know what to call it, but it's scuffed it pretty hard, but it's not like an indentation or anything like that. Fields are a little bit dinged up. I honestly, this would be a 63 pretty easy, just because the back is so nice. The back's saving this coin. I mean, that's a really clean back and a good strike. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. So might be enough to bump it up to a 64 if I got lucky, but I bet that right there, part of that would stop that from happening. But if those weren't there, I'd say it'd be an easy 64. But it's always something, ain't it? Very nice back. 1887. I gotta say, I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't think I've got all that many 1887s. So this would be my third one I pulled out of this roll. Pretty decent. Light bag marks, quite a bit throughout here. On the face, not as nice as I originally thought. And it is a Philly. Medium strike, I'd say. Yeah, medium strike. 62. That's what I'm going with. 1884. Now looking at it right off the bat, I see a mark here. And I know there's some varieties. I don't know if about 1884. Seems like there's one there. There's actually, it might be 1884 where there's a misplaced 1. That might, I'll have to take a closer look at it. But some of these, there are varieties for like a dash under the 1 or an 8. That might, I think this actually might be that misplaced 1. That looks really similar. Some call it like a sliver 1. There's several different varieties, numbers for it. But pretty nice coin, real shiny. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be good enough to get me a proof like. Strike is very nice. I like that. See the little waves in the hair right there. It's nicer. There should be another one like right up here if you get a really good strike. But it's looking pretty nice. Pretty nice coin. Oh, man, strike on the eagle sucks. That's like no definition in his feathers. But the fields are nice. CC, Carson City. Much better on the reflectivity on the back, but I don't think it's good enough to get me a proof like because of the front. So I'm not going to be too concerned about that. But pretty nice coin. I worry about the strike on the back. A lot of these that I've sent in a lot of 84s and 83 CCs. They usually are 63s or 64s. So I'd say this one's a 63. And I'm pretty sure that's over $400 automatically. CCs are what you want to get. Usually I'll get these rolls with a CC on both ends. And like I said, I look for the dark picture initially, and then I try to look for reflectivity in the pictures. Good reflectivity, clear reflectivity. Because the pictures they take aren't that great. You gotta look for the best quality that you can find. And then try to get a good price on it. So anyway, let's see here, guys. I got, out of all these, I got, let's see, 3 1885s, 4 1883s, let's see, what is that, 6 1884s, 1 1901, 3 1887s, 2 1886s, and the one with the nicest, my 64 1879. S, unfortunately. But it's a nice one. Yep. Now I'm gonna dig through them and see if I can find varieties, but that's for another video. So hope you liked it. Please hit that like button, comment, and join me on the next one. See you later, guys.